Now let's look at this verse. There's char pada, there's 4 lines here. Pada means line. Krishna is speaking to the gopis while he's standing there on the banks of the Yamuna under the full moon of the Sharad season. Shravana darshana dhyanam Mai bhavo anukirtanat. So we'll take these 2 lines at a time. Gopis hearing about me, seeing my deity form, meditating on me, and chanting my holy name with anukirtanat. Krishna kirtana. How's it go? Krishna anukirtana. That's the same thing. Krishna anukirtana. Krishna kirtana gananat. The anukirtan means with faith. It means one kirtan after another. It means many things. So then he says, by this, mahi bhavo, you'll attain bhav. Because this is a sadhana. And we practice sadhana bhakti to attain bhav. Deep feelings of attachment and remembrance and absorption in Krishna's happiness and pleasure. Saturate our minds with Krishna. Bhav. And that bhav becomes condensed and solidified. And then that bhav itself manifests its full flower and fruit as prema. Prema phal. The fruit of bhav, the fruit of sadhana. Sadhana phal is prema. But before you have fruit, you have the flower. Pushpa. The pushpa is the bhav. The flower, that beautiful flower of devotion. So colorful, so fragrant, so attractive to look at. That's bhav. Emanates nectar. There's nectar inside the flower. And the honeybees come and take it. So the honeybee is Krishna. He's the madhukar. He's a bhav madhukar. He comes and lands on the flower of a devotee's bhav and he drinks the nectar of his love, his bhav. Then that flower eventually turns into a fruit. And that's the ras. And prema rasa begins. At the level of bhav, there's some amrit, there's some nectar, some drops, few drops, and the honeybee comes. And Krishna relishes the drops of our bhav at the level of bhava bhakti. That honeybee, Krishna. That brahmar, prem brahmar. Brahmar means big bumblebee. Dark, shiny, glossy, dark bluish black. You must have seen a big body. Makes big noise. Bzzz. This is the brahmar. So brahmar comes and lands on the flower of our bhav. And it's nice, he's happy. But he can't get enough. There's only a few drops. He puts his nose in there, takes out a few drops and flies away and stores it in his honeycomb heart. His honeycomb heart. Krishna stores our bhav there and waits for it to mature and condense and deepen and expand. Then that becomes the phal, the fruit, the ripened mango of love, of bhav, is prema, Krishna prema. And a fruit has so much more nectar than a flower. Flower has some small drops. A mango flower. If you take a mango flower and take the very inside essence and go like that, you'll get a half a drop of nectar. But if you wait for it to become a mango and you squeeze it, you get so much juice, so much ras. So that's prema. Prema is so much ras, bhakti ras. Then there's ras. There's amrit and ras. Bhav gives amrit bindu, but prem gives rasa sindhu. Have you heard? Bhakti ras amrita sindhu. So bhakti means prem. Bhakti with ras is only possible at prema. Combination of 5 bhavas at the level of prema produces ras. So Krishna is telling, Mahi bhav. Go home and do sadhana bhakti and you'll come eventually. Vaidhi sadhana will take one to rag, in proper association with proper guidance of Raganugiya bhaktas, either in previous life or this life. And then, intensifying one's rag, then bhav. So if you do shravana, darshana, dhyanam, anukirtana, then you'll get mahi bhav. By hearing about Krishna, worshipping his deity form, meditating upon him, and doing kirtan, hearing, chanting, remembering, serving, then we can come to Bhav. So that's correct. So it appears in this verse, the first half of the verse, that Krishna is saying the same thing he says in two different places in Bhagavad Gita. In other words, to the sadhana siddha gopis and the nitya siddha gopis, his nitya parishads, who are standing in front of him, he's telling them Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 34. And again it's in chapter 18. Manmana bhavamad bhakto madhyaji mamna maskuru mam evaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. You become priya. You become priya to me. How will you become dear to God? How will you become a beloved of God? Go home, manmana, think of me and worship me, offer obeisances to me. This way. So this is the first two lines of the verse. Krishna is describing ordinary practices of Vaidhi Bhakti for the purpose of attaining Him. It's very correct what Krishna is saying. It's the perfect Bhakti Tattva. He's Guru, Krishna's Adi Guru. He's preaching and teaching Bhakti Yoga to Arjuna. And here he tried out preaching first to the gopis so he could practice. Later he perfected it, so he preached to Arjuna 100 years later. So first when he was 11, he tried out this idea, Manmanava Mad Bhakto. And then when he was 90 or 100 years old in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Arjuna, you shouldn't stand here and love me as my Sakha. Why are you standing here and loving me and having so many guna rasas? You're in Sakya Bhav, and now you're experiencing the guna rasa of fear. Oh, my Lord, seeing this Rata Rupa, I'm trembling, I'm perspiring. Please show me your beautiful, sweet two-armed form as my Sakha, as my friend. This Virata Rupa, this Aishvarya Bhagavan, this majestic Bhagavan, Vishwarup, I'm trembling. Well, that was just a anubhav of his intense sakirati, his intense love. So he felt fear, which is a gonaras. It's a gonaras which nourishes and increases the attachment of a friend to a friend. Oh, I didn't realize who you are. We used to sit on the same bed together. We used to share our food together. Now I realize you're God. And there's in one Purana, Narada Muni was amazed. He was amazed how intimate and how close they are, because when Arjuna saw that in the battlefield, so much gonarasa, bhaya ras, so much fear, and this vibhatsa means ghastliness. It was ghastly. He saw thousands of soldiers and chariots and horses rushing into the mouth of Krishna's Virata Rupa. This is my friend? He's just munching and crunching the heads of soldiers like they're peanuts. Thousands of soldiers' heads are rushing into his mouth, just crushing them like some kind of wood chipper, and when they put trees in, they just crushing up like some garbage truck. This is my friend. Then we sat on the same bed together. We shared food. He's my priyosime, and I'm his priya jana. So that fear. So it's told once Narada Muni, he was amazed. He went to Dwarka. And when he went to Dwarka, he said, "Where's my Lord?" And Bhagavan Kahan. He said, "Oh, he's sleeping in his royal palace with Arjuna."